What is going on with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? We need to do a deep dive right now because that last episode crossover with Below Deck Down Under was everything, but it was shocking and it was insane. And we need to talk about it. This and much more. Welcome to Pop Smash. Hello, everybody, troop. Welcome back. Today, girl, either this is the last day on Earth for us, and the last thing that we're gonna be talking is Real House of Salt Lake City, or I'm just dressing as an astronaut alien for Halloween because I do not understand in what world are we living after that last episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Girl, anyways, before we start, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to BEVERLY Troop, where we keep it real and we mention it all. So make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you found me from my old YouTube channel, welcome to our new home. Girl, this is the new planet, okay? So welcome. Again, make sure to subscribe. Girl. Okay, so this is like has so much to do with every single topic today because I feel that we are not in the same planet, in the same solar system, in the same universe. Like I am like, what is going on over here? First of all, I mean, we have a whole ass comet slash mothership, whatever, coming to this planet. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like, this huge asteroid 31 Atlas, that is supposed to come to Earth today or pass around or something like that. Bitch, I am not an astronomer. I don't even have like a telescope on me. But I read the news. I watch the TikToks. And there is this huge mass, this huge thing that was, seen for the first time in July, and now it's supposed to be coming today, October 29. But like, it's what time is it right now? It's like 12, like midday here in LA, and I have not seen anything happening. In fact, we're having a very hot day today here in LA. So anyways, I was like, is this the aliens? Like the NASA went out there and said like, oh, this is like something that we have not seen before, supposedly for the first time ever, or all the interplanetary defense system has been activated around the world. I have no idea what does that mean. I'm ready to sing Armageddon over here. Like, I don't want to miss a thing. Like, I'm ready to just go to Santa Monica and do like Deep Impact. Like, girl, because I don't know what is gonna happen, but it is what it is. And then I'm just on the other side. I was like, if this is our last day on this earth, girl, at least we have one of the best episodes from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I am like livid right now watching this episode. Like, I was screaming at that TV, and then I'm going on social media. Thank God a lot of people are able to like look through the bullshit. But girl, there are so many people that I just don't know in what planet are they living. Okay, I don't know if they are trying to convince Mr. Elon that they are, they're smart enough to like go into the next interplanetary trip or what. But I'm like, girl, you are so wrong. I mean, I'm already starting to see a pattern over here, and is the way people hate a housewife, and then they can have the literal proof in front of their eyes, and they will still do and say whatever as long as it's against the people that they don't like, which is very on brand with the United States of America anyways. But yes, so these glasses, honestly, I feel like Angie Cataneva right now. I mean, girl, this is not a full on review from the episode. I just want to mention absolutely everything. Um, I I cannot stand that the way that these ladies are trying to take Lisa Barlow down. I can't. There is something that I hate, and it's a gang gap, and also like the way that a takedown is basically when there are no storylines to share. Like, why are we not talking about what is happening with Whitney Rose, with Heather Gay, with Bronwyn, with all of the other ladies? Why are we now focusing solely on Lisa Barlow? This only happens when there is a takedown in action. This is not the first time that we see it. And girl, that does not work out in Bravo. We are literally seeing it right now with Stacey Rush in Potomac and with Katie Janela on The Real Housewives of Orange County and now with Lisa Barlow on Salt Lake City. It's not gonna work out because if you are smart enough, you know that that is not the way that we do things over here. However, I wanted it to get a little bit more technical. I really wanted to like go into this situation of like, is Lisa Barlow leaking stuff to bloggers? I have so much tea from so many people that could just like take so many people down, but that's not what we do in this channel. But one thing that I said it on another video before, and I'm gonna repeat it right now. Okay, I talk and I am friends with a lot of like bloggers, podcasters, people in the media, people, my own sources and production and like everywhere around, not only this show, but like a lot of shows, right? And I can tell you something. I have not heard the first person tell me, "Ooh, I have this piece of information that was brought to me by Lisa Barlow." I have not heard that. In fact, I have heard that from some of the other ladies. I'm not going to say who. You know who you are, boo. But I have heard that before, all right? And I think it's crazy to me that you are gonna get so blindsided, not blindsided, so blind and go against someone for whatever reason you have. I think it is so weird to me. Second of all, I'm gonna take my glasses out for a second. Um, Look, one of the things that is like really being hard for me right now is actually watching Heather Gay playing into this game. You know, I thought that Heather Gay knew better. I thought that Heather Gay was like grow up. I thought that she was on a different stage on her life than to actually play into this narrative. Initially, I have always said Whitney Rose is obsessed with Lisa. She has going after her season after season. She really, really is trying to like take her down. And I thought that Heather Gay was already above that game. But what we are seeing right now, especially on this last episode, is a Heather Gay who actually is in charge of the takedown. So someone is playing someone, and I am not sure if it's Heather Gay playing Whitney Rose or Whitney Rose playing Heather Gay. But that is the source right there. The two of them are in cahoots, and they are using Bronwyn and Angie as pawns on their little game. And they are all convinced that if they take Lisa Barlow down, then their show is gonna be theirs and they're going to be fan favorites. And it's like, why do you have to be so jealous? Why don't you understand that if you will play your cards well, there is a space for everyone on Real Housewives to be successful, to use the platform. But no, they want to like keep going after someone over and over and over. There is a situation right here because after I saw Heather Gay, through the seasons changing with Lisa and everything, I thought that she actually changed. Okay, this is not a secret. I talk about this on my old YouTube channel, before. Um, the first housewife that I ever have contact, in this like career, um, was actually Jen Shaw, and I'm talking season one before all the mess, with her happened. This was the very beginning. I was a very young, YouTuber, and I was just like doing my little videos in my car, delivering for Uber, and all of that. And she reached out to me, and I was in shock because remember, Jen Shaw season one, she was the fan favorite. She was the number one. She was like the top dog. So the fact that she was reaching out to me, that blew my mind. And not only that, then she called me and we talked on the phone, not one, but several times after that. And one of the things that Jane Shaw used to say to me at that point was all the shit about Heather Gay. She also talked a lot of shit about Mary Cosby. This was the times, Mary Cosby and the cult, and all of that. But mostly we talk a lot about Heather Gay, which was very surprising to me because let's all remember season one Heather Gay was supposed to be Jane Shaw's best friend. She told me everything about Heather being a racist, Heather being a horrible person, how she was horrible to the people around her. She used to tell me that when Heather was married, that she was homophobic, that all her family is highly homophobic. She will trash Heather Gay. And one of the things that really stuck with me was how she will tell me that Heather Gay was the one going to the blogs and to put information out there about all of the other ladies, right? And how she had having contact with a lot of people, and she will tell me, Jane will tell me stuff like, I know shit, how you say that? I know how weird this sounds, given that she was contact me. But I just want to tell you that I'm not the only one talking, to the media and people out there. Heather Gay is actually going around, actually looking for shit and actually giving it to people to put it out there. So at the beginning, I was very much like, oh my god, this is horrible, blah blah blah. And then when Jane Shaw ended up, being a criminal and all of that, I honestly like discharged basically everything because I was like, how could I believe someone like Jen Shaw, after everything that, really happened? However, sometimes I like to revisit, those conversations in my mind, and there are things that still are bugging me, because just because Jen Shaw is a criminal doesn't mean that she might not be telling the truth about some of her co-stars, right? So I was like, okay, I mean, I kind of like let it go back in the day. I was like, whatever, she went to jail, all of that. Until then, I was reached out, and I'm talking, this is like 2 or 3 years later. I got reached out by Heather's gay brother and sister, the same one that was on the show, remember, a couple years ago? And they destroy Heather Gay to me. Like they will tell me all these horrible things about Heather. And you know, one of the things that I'm very proud in my channel, is that usually I'm not the kind of person who is just like digging things up, and I'm gonna call, your third grade teacher and see like what did you do wrong back then to bring it right now. I don't do that shit. I'm actually here to support Bravo and Housewives because I really, really love them, right? So I will never say exactly what they told me about Heather, but they will tell me a lot of things that actually some of them were very similar to what Jen Shaw actually told me at some point. So I have always been very kind of like this because Heather, she is a nice girl. Like when you see her, a lot of people talk very highly about her, how she's so nice to everyone and how blah blah blah. But in my mind, I'm start thinking like, did she join Lisa Barlow because she thought that she, in fact, was never gonna take her down, and now that the Whitney convinced her otherwise, is she rejoining the other side because she really wants to take Lisa Barlow down? One of the things that I was always told was that Heather was very, very jealous of Lisa. But then we all saw how Whitney Rose basically became obsessed with Lisa Barlow, right? Season after season after season. So like in now coming to season 6, right? I'm starting to think, wait, is it Whitney behind all of this, or is it Heather behind all of this? If we actually go back to the season of Monica Garcia, Darnell Powell, whatever her last name was, how did Heather, in fact, really discover that Reality Von Teese was Monica Garcia or part of Reality Von Teese? If it was not maybe by talking to all of the other bloggers around, that area. So I don't know. Now I'm having this weird taste in my mouth. It's very easy to make everyone go against Lisa Barlow, then leak information, and then say that Lisa Barlow was the one who leaked the information. I will tell you, I don't think Lisa will ever do that, because that is the stupidest move that you can do. It is so obvious. And if you are someone doing this, then you will be very dumb. And Lisa Barlow is not dumb at all. She's actually incredibly smart. So it will be very easy if Lisa will actually be going around giving information, to bloggers or the media or TMC or Page Six or whatever. It will be very easy to track that down to Lisa Barlow. It probably will be happening by now. We have seen actual conversations between bloggers and some of these ladies that has already been leaked. So believe me, if there was a conversation between Lisa Barlow and a blogger, it will be out there by now. And I'm talking like we saw Angie Katzenevas talking to an Instagram account. I think it was called, I don't know if it was the Bravo Docket or the Bravo Derm, one of those. There are the text messages out there. They are leaked out there, talking about Lisa Barlow, talking about Meredith, talking about Bronwyn, talking about everyone. Angie Katzenevas talking to a vlogger. It is right there. I am not making that up. It is right there. The screen. In fact, I'm probably gonna be putting the screenshots around here. So of that conversation, it is right there. The same account was the one who actually discovered Bronwyn's Newport um, criminal charges. And it is so funny to me. Not even funny, it's like weird to me that after 6 years of filming this show, these girls, especially someone like Whitney, will come out and say, oh my God, Lisa, like she used the same word that like people are using out there, the Conwyn Frown Newport, whatever. Oh my gosh, she must be the one because she's using the same word. I'm like, are we supposed to believe that these girls never go on social media? Because all of this is in social media. So if any of them want to use a nickname that it is already out there, how that make them guilty of putting the information out there? And I was like, the reaches on this episode were so huge that I'm like, you are really reaching for straws over here. Like, this is bad, right? Um, a Bravo account found Bronwyn's charges, and it's not because someone tell them to look for it. And this is something, again, after 6 years, you are not a rookie housewife anymore. You know that when you join Bravo, you are going to get ears and eyes everywhere around the world. And I'm not talking about the random fan, the random housewife who is watching the show from their house in fucking Arkansas. No. I'm talking about doctors, nurses, lawyers, politicians, actors. We have private investigators. We have orthodontists. We have teachers. We have everyone being completely obsessed over this show. We have people working at Louis Vuitton. We have people like in the most random places who watch Bravo and who very, very happily will go and give this information. You have no idea the amount of tea, gossip, and BS that I receive on the daily basis about every single Bravo celebrity. It is insane, you know? And but it's still out there. And for Whitney to pretend that Lisa has to go out of her way to find this, and to Brownwin to really believe, oh, someone is putting this information out there. No, bitch, that information was found because it is not that hard, you know? And you are lucky that those documents are sealed because otherwise all the information will be out there, you know, from your criminal charges for not paying 1 month of rent and had an eviction. Girl, I know you're trying, but girl, you know, there are charges that were from 5 years ago. They are there. No one is making this up. You go look on the database, they are there. So the way that Bronwyn rehearsed those lines like her life depends on it was insane. When she was talking and trying to explain, it was so rehearsed, you know. And then they want to blame Lisa Barlow on it. Now the weirdest part in this one is that I don't think that Bronwyn was in on the Lisa Barlow is behind all of this. I mean, her face of shock actually kind of like look very real, you know. So I'm starting to think it is Heather Gay and Whitney Rose behind all of this, and I found it so disturbing that after 6 years and after pretending to have a friendship with Lisa, you will still do that. Why? Why are you so jealous? You know, is it Lisa's businesses? Is it Lisa's money? Is it Lisa's marriage? Is Lisa's kids? What is it that you constantly have to go after her over and over and over? You know, I am so glad that Meredith Marks actually was there to defend Lisa Barlow. You know, to like really say with a calm face, I just don't think that this is what is going on. And the way that Heather was like trying to drag Meredith and try to like say like, oh well, you say this, you say that, and Mary was like, I said this and I said that. That does not mean that I think that Lisa is putting all of this information out there. Because again, in what world, unless you are that stupid, you will not understand that your information is out there for us to grab. Okay? Not even Tom Girardi was able to get away with shit. So no one, if you join Bravo, your skeletons will be out of the closet. You know, Lisa Barlow's lawsuits, you know, they were out there, you know, and she explained them. And then who digged those up? Bronwyn Newport. You know what I mean? So it is so wild and so easy to see where this is going to. Heather Gay is trying to do to Lisa Barlow what Kyle Richards did to Lisa Vanderpump, right? I feel that the difference over here, I love Lisa Vanderpump. I love Lisa Vanderpump. But by now we know that Lisa, you know, might have put some things here and there, especially back in that time where things and social media was a little bit different. Now, I'm telling you, I do not believe that Lisa Barlow is behind any of this because nowadays it is so easy to find you. The moment that you are announced as a real housewife, we already know everything about you. You know, look at Real Housewife of Rhode Island. We don't even know when it's going to premiere, and we already know that one of the husbands is being accused for domestic violence, and we already are looking into all of that. and getting all that information ready so when the show airs, we know what is going on. Bravo is not only the shows, it's not only your fellow Bravo celebrities, it's not only Andy Cohen, it's not only BravoCon. Bravo is a huge monster where every single fan has a say on it. Okay. We have panels talking about Real Housewife. We have guests talking about Real Housewife. We have bloggers. We have videos, we have podcasts, we have everything related to Bravo. So it is so stupid to think in 2025, after all of this, that people, that Bravo celebrities are still digging shit up, and putting things out there. They don't need to because shit is already going to be out there, you know? Maybe the only thing that they can be at fault is like talking to people about something that it's already there, but that is nothing bad to do. And I am telling you, every single Bravo celebrity has at least one person in the media that they talk to, because it's the only way that they can protect themselves against the ultimately bullshit that people put out there sometimes. And there is nothing wrong with that. Again, it's 2025. We cannot pretend that Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Facebook does not exist. It doesn't make any sense. Um, Whitney Rose. How did we discover everything that happened? It baffles me that she goes on and says like, "Oh, the Alibaba rumors." There were no rumors. There were no rumors. You were selling jewelry that literally was the exact same jewelry that was being sold in Alibaba. Not even one change. It was the exact same pictures. Only she was selling them like 10, 20 times more expensive and make them look like they were originals. There is no rumor over there. It's not like people that like shit was made up. The pictures are there. You can go and do a Google image search with her jewelry, and it will show that Alibaba was selling the exact same product. And you know who put that shit out there? The person that were scammed and found out that their jewelry was actually being sold on Alibaba. You want to talk about your MLM and the scam of it all? That didn't come from Lisa or from absolutely anyone from the show. One of the people who work for you, who pay a bunch of money to you and your weird, events and all of that, got scammed and decided to do a TikTok. In fact, several TikToks that are out there for everyone to watch. Did anyone dig up that? No. It is out there for the whole world to see. And they are still want to go and blame Lisa over this? I can't. Honestly, this is on another level. This is from another planet, bitch. You know, uh, it's incredible. Like, and you have to be, and or you have to have a low IQ if you are not seeing all of this shit. And after 20 years of watching Housewife, you are supposed to know better. You know, and I think we do. I'm going to social media, I'm going to X, I'm going to TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, and a lot of people are actually defending Lisa Barlow, and they're saying like, this is weird. This is not this is not making any sense whatsoever. You know why? Because it is not. It is two people, extreme jealousy, trying to take down the queen bee of the show. And I'm just gonna say it. Kyle drove Lisa Vanderpump off the show, and Lisa Ren. Actually, it was Lisa Ren. But anyways, after Lisa Vanderpump left the show, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was never the same. Never the same. In fact, they are struggling to keep the show alive right now. You know, If Lisa Barlow will ever leave this show, I don't know if it's gonna be the same because Lisa Barlow brings so much entertainment to the Real House of Salt Lake City that I don't know if the other girls will be able to keep up with that, you know, and that's their jealousy. That's that's what they know. There is a reason why Wendy's, Kerastasi, and any other brands are reaching out to Lisa Barlow and not to the other ones, you know, and they cannot stand that. And I'm like, why don't you just take your own money and live happy with that? Why don't you, instead of going around trying to take other persons down and other person's business down, why are you not worrying about how to use the Real Housewives platform to make you a millionaire, to take you to the next step, you know? Because you need the coins. Whitney Rose need the coins. Heather Gay need the coins. Um, well, Browning probably needs the coins because I think all of the coins are tots, and Angie Katzeneva need the coins. Probably the only person who does not need the coins is Mary Cosby and probably Mary Marks. You know, so instead of going around trying to destroy other people's life, focus on yourself and how to make you be good enough so brands reach out to you. You know, brands that are not Bravo. And that's it, guys. That's the what I wanted to talk today. You know, I know it was not a lot of like tea, but we need to talk about this because this last episode was so heartbreaking. The visceral reaction of Lisa Barlow was something that was literally breaking my heart. No one cries like that unless their heart is actually being broken, you know? And that like the very end scene of Lisa by herself crying to John on the phone, completely abandoned by these girls, I have never seen something so horrible. I will probably will have left. The fact that she's actually staying on the trip is crazy, and it actually show you the professionalism of Lisa of saying like, I'm just gonna stay here, you know, like fuck that shit. So I don't know where we're gonna move from here. You know, I want to see how these girls actually get exposed for all of the shit that they are doing. You know, and I could not even imagine what this dinner would have looked like if Angie Katsanevas was out there because Angie will have tried to go for Lisa as well. And I'm like, especially to Angie and Bronwyn, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm hoping that one day they break the spell, the Whitney Rose spell, you know, because they are pawns on their little game. And they're not innocent. I mean, they are here doing all of the shit that they have done. But they are pawns on the Whitney Rose, probably slash Heather Gay game, you know, and they are being used and manipulated. But I don't know. I don't know if we will ever see the truth, you know. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. I wanna like you guys to tell me how do you feel about about this season, and especially last night episode. Also, shout out to Captain Jason. Mm, mm, mm. Girl, if I was an alien, I will come to this planet just to kidnap Captain Jason. Mm, 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 mm. What a specimen! I mean, that will be an amazing pet to have around. Girl, Captain Jason, it is so yummy, good looking. It such a waste that he is straight, girl. Mm-mm-mm. But anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. How do you feel about everything? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you want to support me, the only way that you can do it for now is following the link on the description below. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. It is Halloween week, so I'm hoping to see every single one of you on your customs. Let me know, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.